A very good evening to you all. You're joining us on Prime TV News. I'm Dilani Jaitilaka. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Prime Minister highlights importance of reconciliation. Dr. Shafi files a fundamental rights petition. Army personnel killed in a railway accident. Badiuddin, an army commander, to testify before the select committee. Paris braces for unprecedented June heat wave. Now for news in detail. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says the government's reconciliation program assisted to de-escalate tension following the Easter Sunday terror attack. The Premier was speaking at the awareness program for community leaders on peace and reconciliation. The program was organized by the National Peace Council. The Prime Minister pointed out that the government has already taken measures to pay compensation to the victims of the Easter Sunday attack. He highlighted that a separate independence office will be set up in this connection. If the injured people need treatments in foreign countries, the government is ready to bear the cost. The Prime Minister said that all religious council needs to be set up in the near future and current issues should be discussed by the religious leaders belonging to different faiths. Speaker Karujaya Surya, Parliamentarian Mahinda Amaraveera, Chairman of the National Peace Council Dr. Joe William attended the event. A set of proposals on social justice were presented at the event. Several leading artists including Inoka Satyangani and Kamal Adararachi took part in the event. The case, which has been filed against 4 defendants, including Arjun Aloysius, will be fixed for trial on the 29th of August. Arjun Aloysius and the defendants have been charged on providing distorted telephonic conversations to the Presidential Commission that was inquiring the Treasury bond scam. Chief Magistrate of Colombo, Lanka Jayaratne, ordered to take up the case on the 29th of August and submit the analysis report on compact discs where conversations stood. Meanwhile, medical officer attached to the Kurunegala Teaching Hospital, Shafi Shahabdeen, who has been arrested on the charges of stashing wealth without legitimate means, filed a fundamental rights petition before the Supreme Court through his attorney. By the petition, Shafi Shahabdeen requests the Apex Court to issue an interim order to release him from detention. The petitioner further noted that the charges levelled at him are fabricated. The case that has been filed against the members of the Sri Lanka Medical Council who had failed to implement a decision handed down by the Court of Appeal letting Saita medicine graduates to be registered under the Sri Lanka Medical Council. The members of the Sri Lanka Medical Council have been litigated on the charge of contempt of court. As Dr. N.S.A. Senaratne, a respondent of the case, was not present before the court, an order was issued to apprehend him. Five army personnel have been killed in a road accident that took place at Kilinochchi. The army truck that carried army soldiers had hit with a train, resulting 5 deaths and injuring 3 individuals. The Colombo-bound train had collided with the army truck at the 55th junction in Kilinochchi while the truck was passing unsecured railway gate. The dead bodies of the army soldiers who died in the accident are kept at the Kilinochchi hospital. The injured soldiers have been admitted to the Kilinochchi district hospital. The Parliamentary Select Committee that was appointed on Easter Sunday terror attack will sit tomorrow. Army Commander Lieutenant General Mahesh Senanayake and former Minister Rishad Badiuddin will be summoned to the Parliamentary Select Committee tomorrow. The Cabinet of Ministers gathered this morning under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat.
The meeting commenced at 9:30 a.m. and ended at 11 a.m. Deputy Minister Vadivel Suresh noted that the cabinet meeting was held cordially with the presence of the President and the Prime Minister. According to the Deputy Minister, the cabinet memorandums put forward for the approval were passed without any hindrance. He pointed out that issues including increasing 50 rupee wage hike for plantation sector employees were taken up for discussion at the meeting, and the cabinet approval will be granted for those memorandums in the near future. Vadivel Suresh said that a decision was taken on attire of Muslim government servants at the cabinet meeting with the consultation of Muslim ministers. He pointed out that any candidate who would be fielded for the presidential election by working committee of the party will be supported by him.
The Buduput Suraksha insurance scheme that has been introduced for the convenience of Buddhist monks will be launched tomorrow. The insurance scheme will be launched under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at Temple Trees at 3 p.m. tomorrow. The project has been initiated by the Ministry of Buddha Sasana and Vayamba Development and the Department of Buddhist Affairs. Mahanayakas of 3 chapters will grace the event on the invitation of Minister Gamini Jayavikrama Pereira. According to Mahanayakas, the new insurance scheme, Buduput Suraksha, is a meritorious act that ensures well-being of the Maha Sangha. The Mahanayaka Thera further highlights that the initiative also confirms the current government's commitment to protect and enrich Buddha Sasana in the country. The national ceremony of awarding insurance policies to Maha Sangha will be telecast over the ITN Live. The Water Supply and Drainage Board announces that a 24-hour water cut will be in effect from 9 a.m. tomorrow in some areas including Maharagama, Borelas Gamua, Kottawa, Pannipitiya, Rukmalgama, Palanwatta, Mattegoda, Homagama, Mipe and Padukka. A suspect of the assassination case of distinguished diplomat, former Minister of Foreign Affairs Lakshma Kadiragama has died in hospital. The 62-year-old suspect has died at the National Hospital. He has been in the remand custody since year 2012 on suspicion of killing the late minister. The minister was assassinated by the LTTE on the 12th of August 2005. Representatives of the All Ceylon Jamia Ulama called on Mahanayaka of the Sri Lanka Amarapura chapter, Most Venerable Kotugoda Dhammavasa Thera. The Islamic preachers who called on the Mahanayaka Thera exchanged views on reconciliation and coexistence with the chief prelate. Coordinator of the Coexistence Committee of the All Ceylon Jamiatul Ulama, Maulavi Noorman, said that to repel suspicion among different communities, it is essential to work in collaboration. He added that even before the Easter Sunday attack, they preached the layman about coexistence and living in harmony with other religious groups in the country. Maulavi Noorman further noted that the only way ahead for development of the country is closer ties among different communities. He added that they educate their community about the value of coexistence. Deputy Minister Karunaratne Paranavithana says due to the appointment of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Easter Sunday attack, the loopholes in national security have been unearthed. The Deputy Minister was speaking at the certificates awarding ceremony for the 73 students who successfully completed a course in construction technologies. The minister highlighted that the country needs to grant serious attention on improving skills of the youth. The Deputy Minister stressed that the number of students who receive vocational training should be doubled in the future. He also pointed out that it is essential to change the mindset of the people pertaining to obtaining vocational training. The final rites of late veteran vocalist Indrani Senaratne will be held on Thursday.
Issuing a condolence message, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says the veteran vocalist has rendered a yeoman service to the country's music sector for a long time. Indrani Senaratne was 83 years at her demise. She was the wife of late musician Sisira Senaratne and the mother of 3 children. Her mortal remains are kept at a private funeral parlour for public respects. She came to fore as a child prodigy, contributing to Saraswati Mandapaya of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. She has sung playback songs in a range of movies, including Rekava, Handapana and Suddu Sande Kaluwala. She earned hearts of thousands of music fans in the country with memorable hits, for instance, Ratu Paatamal, Vesak Kyakulu, Suddu Sande Eliye and Honda Honda Lamein, etc.
The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, has expressed concerns over the religious and ethnic tensions arose in Sri Lanka following the terrorist attacks by Muslim jihadists on Easter Sunday. Delivering the opening statement at the 41st session of the Human Rights Council in Geneva on Monday, Bachelet said while some counterterrorism measures are warranted, a priority should be given to bringing political, religious and other community leaders together to address root causes of all forms of violence and discrimination. The High Commissioner commended the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka for its commendable and courageous role. Highlighting her concerns about violence and the incitement of violence on the basis of religion, both in the real world and online, the High Commissioner noted the need to act both with great urgency and great care against religious violence and hate speech. Bachelet pointed out that as the new UN Strategy and Action Plan on Hate Speech emphasizes, the misuse of excessively broad restrictions on freedom of speech may lead to silencing critics and the intensification of attacks on the press and human rights advocates. The United States has downgraded its travel advisory for Sri Lanka that was imposed following the Easter Sunday attack. Accordingly, the previously issued Level 3 travel advisory requesting citizens to reconsider travel to the island nation has now been lowered to Level 2. On June 24, 2019, the State Department lifted the ordered departure status of family members of U.S. government employees under the age of 18, as well as the authorized departure status of non-emergency U.S. government employees and family members. Minister Sagala Ratnayaka says that the government has embarked a series of programs to strengthen the economy of the people. The minister was speaking at a function held at the Kottapola area in Deniyaya. He pointed out that the government has contemplated on initiating a new mechanism for Samurdhi beneficiaries with the view of making them self-sufficient and economically viable. The minister said that no politics would occupy a significant role in rural development under the current government. He said that the government's intention is to see the growth of economy in rural areas. The cabinet proposal to provide tab computers to students and teachers in national schools was granted approval today. Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasam says at the first phase, 100,000 tab computers will be distributed among the students and the teachers in August. Minister Karyavasam was speaking at a function held at the Ministry of Education this afternoon. 44 teaching assistants who completed degrees or teachers training were awarded appointments at the function. State Minister Vijay Kala Maheshwaran was also present. Parliamentarian Kumara Welgama says Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca is better than Gotabaya Rajapaksa when it comes to national security. He was speaking at a function held in Kalutara. Kumara Welgama pointed out that Sarath Fonseca used to be the army commander who trounced LTTE terrorism. He highlighted that though some politicians are saying that the 19th Amendment to the Constitution is not good except Sarath Veerasekara, all the joint opposition MPs cast their vote in favour of the amendment. The biggest illegal liquor producing facility ever found in Sri Lanka has been seized from the Hinetiangala area in Kalutara by the officers attached to the Special Task Force. The raid has been carried out as a joint effort of the Excise Department of Kalutara and the STF. According to police sources, the brewery has been run in a concealed place using high technology. The owner of the place is a politician who had contested for the local government election under the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna ticket. The police says an organizer of the SLPP is also behind the scam. "232 kilograms of sea cucumber was seized with 3 suspects in Tantirimale. The stock of sea cucumber was taken into custody when a vehicle that was plying from Mullatiu to Puttalam was inspected. The suspects are residents of Puttalam, Mena and Mabole. According to the police sources, the suspects were ready to export the sea cucumber stock to China illegally. A new ancient structure has been found next to the historical Shiva temple in Polonnaruwa. The new building had been found during a conservation project carried out at the Shiva temple. According to the archaeologists of the Central Cultural Fund, the new finding will help to measure the historicity of the Shiva temple complex. Meanwhile, the Mahiyangana police raided an illegal sand mining scam next to the Mahavali Bridge in Mahiyangana. According to our correspondents, the culprits who had involved in illegal mining had been able to escape from police during the raid. Up next is Biz News. Sri Lanka is attempting to lure transit passengers at Colombo's Bandaranaike International Airport to make short visits into the country to boost tourism earnings, which are falling after the Easter Sunday terror attack. According to Finance Ministry data, in total, Sri Lanka has 1.5 million transit passengers. In 2018, there were 186,862 excursionists in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority said that almost all excursionists were cruise ship passengers who come on shore for sightseeing and shopping while the ship is in harbour. Sri Lankan Airlines said that it is positive that the transit passenger strategy will generate short-term tourism earnings for the country. That's all we have for you today. Have a pleasant week. Good night.